Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups, and this is the weekly pop culture wrap-up. That's right everybody, thanks for checking out the video. I am Rockin Robbie Billups. This is the weekly pop culture wrap-up. It's the show where I go over the week's pop culture news, mostly comic books and movies, but before we get into that, I gotta give a big shout out to David Hatch. David's been supporting us over at patreon.com/PCP for a good long while now. David, you are unbelievable. On behalf of everybody here, Hammer Time Holshoe, Jelani, Brooks, Justin, Drew, and others, we just want to say thank you so much. We couldn't do without you, homie. So let's get right into the wrap-up. Wildcats has been delayed. What? We all were super excited, at least I was, when they announced Wildcats, a 6-issue series by Warren Ellis, Ramon Villalobos, and Tamara Bonvillain. Super excited. It was supposed to come out this month, August. It's been delayed. It's been pushed back, right? At the earliest you can expect it is November of this year, but more than likely it's going to be early 2020. Seems like Warren Ellis fell behind. In his last newsletter, he said that he only had 2 scripts in the bag, so it just didn't add up, and that's what's happening. So unfortunately, the Wildcat series that spins out of Warren Ellis's Wildstorm series has been delayed. I would not anticipate that until like January, February of 2020. Very, very sad news. Speaking of sad news, Rob Liefeld quits Youngblood. That's right, Youngblood, the characters, the team that Rob Liefeld created for the Image imprint, for the Image publisher when it first debuted and all that stuff. Back in the day, Rob Liefeld joined up with Scott Rosenberg, and they together, they formed Awesome Entertainment, and then they eventually split off. Rosenberg worked with this dude named Andrew Rev. Apparently, this Rev guy now has the rights to Youngblood, or at least they're in contention right now. So he's been talking to Rob Liefeld saying, hey, I want to make you a star. I can make you the next Todd McFarlane. I want to do something big. That really didn't sit well with Rob Liefeld. Rob Liefeld decided just to step back and let it go. So Rob Liefeld is no longer going to be behind Youngblood, either any movie or television or comic book project. So this is something that Rob Liefeld's been holding on to for a very long time. He still has other properties in his portfolio, still has other things that he's working on with other people, like Glory, like Prophet, and stuff like that. However, Youngblood is now going to be apparently Andrew Rev's in his repertoire, his thing. He's trying to start a new comic book company, trying to do something with it. But basically, he offered Rob Liefeld a chance to audition for the role of a creator on Youngblood. That didn't sit too well with him, right? Let's jump over to movies and TV. We don't have a lot of news this week. Indiana Jones 5 filming in April 20. In April 2020, Indiana Jones 5 is rumored to begin filming. Now, this is just a rumor. This is all coming from just hearsay and whatnot like that. Nothing definitive, nothing confirmed. I know a lot of people have their feelings about the Indiana Jones franchise. Me, personally, I enjoy all 4 films. I even love The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It's definitely not the best Indiana Jones film out there, but I do enjoy it. Now, I don't hate it as much as other people. So I myself am kind of excited for an Indiana Jones Part 5. I think that if you took the bad stuff, or at least the stuff that I didn't like, out of Indiana Jones 4, it could really work. And that mostly being Shia LaBeouf. Like, that character was, I don't know. I'm still excited because there's still a part of me that just loves Indiana Jones and I want to see something else. And I think Harrison Ford can still do it. But they need to get on this because it's not going to be that much longer. 1917 is a movie that just released its trailer. It's directed by Sam Mendes, who directed Skyfall, the recent awesome Bond film. Of course, there was Spectre after that, but the less said about that, usually the better. But the trailer looks great. It looks like a great World War I film. And there are some nice World War I films, but it seems like when it comes to war movies, most people kind of go into Vietnam, they go into World War II. So having a modern day film that looks like it's taking stuff from World War I and doing it in a very realistic, a very gripping, stylish way seems really, really cool to me. The trailer was cool. I would recommend that you check it out. Andy Serkis on Venom 2. So Venom's getting a sequel. Tom Hardy's coming back. Maybe we're going to get Woody Harrelson as Carnage, but of course they're going to be doing a second Venom movie. And rumors are swirling around that Andy Serkis, of course from Lord of the Rings fame, he played Gollum. He also played Claw in the Black Panther movie in Age of Ultron. Rumors are that he's going to be directing it, right? And it almost seems like Tom Hardy has kind of confirmed this before the studio confirmed it. So kind of just take this with a grain of salt. But Andy Serkis, that seems like a neat idea. Moving towards a different director, I think, is a good step. I wasn't the biggest fan of that first Venom movie. I thought it was a little inconsistent in its style. It's a little all over the place. So maybe Andy Serkis could come in and really like do something clean or whatever. That being said, I really do anticipate Venom 2 being much better than the original movie. All the setups out of the way, and they can see what fans responded to and what fans didn't respond to, and they can kind of take it into a better direction. I don't know. Power of Grayskull. It's a documentary. It's going to be releasing on DVD, home video, whatever you want to call it, here in September. It's all about the Masters of the Universe. It's a big definitive documentary about the TV show, about the movie, about the toy line. I am so pumped for this. I loved Masters of the Universe when I was a kid. Who didn't grow up in the 80s and not love Masters of the Universe? So very, very excited for that one. So be on the lookout for that. The Stand, which is going to be a mini-series on CBS All Access, has announced some of its cast. We got James Marsden as Stu. We got Odessa Young as Franny. We got Amber Heard as Nadine. So some really cool announcements there as far as the cast goes. But what's really neat about this is that Stephen King is writing the last final installment himself, and he's going to be adding on a new ending, a new coda, something that he says has been percolating in his brain for like the last 30 years, and he's always wanted the chance to put it into the ending of The Stand. So you get a little bit of coolness about that, right? Also, Marilyn Manson's going to be in The Stand. He's going to be contributing to the soundtrack as well. Nobody knows who he's playing yet. They're keeping it tight-lipped. Some speculation about Randall Flagg. No way they're going to give that to Marilyn Manson. I think he's going to be Trash Can Man, something like that. But I'm very excited for The Stand, because The Stand miniseries from 1994 has one of the best first episodes, one of the best opening shots of a TV miniseries like that. But it just kind of fell into the Hallmark Channel kind of way of thinking in a way, right? The Nancy Drew trailer has been released by CW. That's right, CW. So you're going to hear me say the same thing I say about most CW shows when I see the trailer. Trailer looked interesting, but it looks like it's CW, which means that I probably won't like it. I really do like, recently in comic books, Dynamite did a Nancy Drew series that was written by Kelly Thompson. That series was amazing. It was really cool. That's exactly what you should do if you want to do a modern day Nancy Drew TV show or a movie or something like that, right? The last movie didn't do too well. It's a popular character, right? So they should be able to make it work. They seem to be taking some of the ideas from that Kelly Thompson book. I don't know if the creators of the show read that book or anything like that, or it just so happens to be a happy coincidence. There's some threads there that seem familiar, but also some very distinctly CW threads, teen romance, melodrama. I don't know. It also seems to have a supernatural tinge to it that maybe is not really there. Maybe it's just a big mystery that people think is supernatural. But when you get to the end of the trailer, it makes you go, things that make you go, Anyway, are you excited about the Nancy Drew show? And also, Nickelodeon revealed a very small teaser, like 15 seconds long, for Are You Afraid of the Dark, coming back in October. I, as a kid, was a huge fan of Snick, and especially Are You Afraid of the Dark. I loved that show so much. I'm so excited for it to come back. It's going to be on Nickelodeon. It's still going to be for kids, but I hope it's going to be just as fun as the original was. I have recently been rewatching some of the old Are You Afraid of the Darks, and I'll be honest with you, they kind of hold up. They hold up for all ages horror stories, I should say. But I really do love Are You Afraid of the Dark? And I was really, really excited by that 15-second teaser, probably more so than any of this other news that I've talked about this week. Anyway, that's what we got for you this week. What do you got? Let us know in the comments down below what you want to talk about, what you want to be, what's your comments? What do you think about the Nancy Drew trailer? What do you think about 1917? What do you think about Rob Liefeld stepping away from Youngblood? And what do you think about Wildcats being delayed? Because I think it sucks. But when it happens, when it finally gets here, it's going to be well worth the wait. I absolutely guarantee it. Because it's Warren Ellis, Villalobos, and Bon Villain. A fantastic creative team. One of my favorite books. You know, we were talking about Youngblood in the 90s. Wildcats, that was my jam. Like, I loved it. That was my favorite Image book. And still kind of carries into this day. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with that. Anyway, tonight, be here, 7 o'clock U.S. Central Time for Robbie Rants Live. We're actually kind of retiring that Robbie Rants name because it makes people think that maybe the show's about me complaining about things. But anyway, a live stream tonight with me. We'll be talking about this upcoming week's new comic books from this upcoming Wednesday, I should say. We'll be talking about that, a lot of this news, a lot of other news. Lots of fun tonight on the live stream, chatting about comics, pop culture, and a whole lot more. So join us tonight, 7 o'clock U.S. Central Time for Robbie Rants Live. We got some advanced reviews coming up this week. Things like Mall #1, things like The Plot #1, just released an advanced review for Coffin Bound #1 that comes out this Wednesday, so definitely check that one out. It's a new book from Dan Waters, Danny Brad Simpson, and Aditya Bidikar. Also, Comics Revisited rolling right on through. The second episode is debuting on Thursday. It's all about Maximum Carnage. The first episode of Season 2, Marvels, is out right now, so be sure to check that out. And if you're a Patreon subscriber, you already have access to Episode 2. So get on that. Let me know what you think about it. So thank you guys so much for rocking with us. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys for the live stream tonight. I've been Rockin Robbie Billups. Thanks for rocking with us. Keep on living.